We'll go ahead and keep going with some availability here this afternoon, and we're now joined by Danica Patrick, who does drive the number 7 GoDaddy.com Chevrolet. Third time at Phoenix once you get out on the track and we race here. Only Daytona, you've raced more. Obviously you're home, and Phoenix resident, 2 races to go in the season, so how's everything wrapping up in a bow for you?
Well, we had a practice day yesterday, which was nice coming to the track since it's been repaved and slightly redesigned. So it was not a great day yesterday, but in the end I feel like we got some clear direction as to which way to go and perhaps what we were not thinking about during the day. So we've got another good long practice today, an hour and 40 minutes. So we should be able to get it together. It looks like these Cup guys are getting faster and faster, so maybe that's maybe the rubber is really laying down, and I suppose it'd be good if we see them up in the second lane at some time too, but or any cars in for that matter. But it's been fine, and as far as being home, I almost feel disoriented because I have to like plan for driving, plan for traffic. When do I get up? I don't know. My whole routine gets thrown off when I am not doing the norm in my bus. So, but you know, at least I get to go home at night.
Got questions for Danica? Let us know, please. We've got the wireless mics for you. Give us your name and affiliation before you ask.
Mike Mullen, MikeMullen.net. What's the dipsy-doodle on the backstretch? You've seen this track before. Does that make sense from a driver's standpoint? It looks kind of weird out there.
Yeah, actually, I thought it was going to be mildly challenging. It's not. I mean, flat out, you know, first lap. So, but I think that, at this point in time, it feels easier coming out of 1 and 2 than it did before. And there seems like the track is nice and smooth, and the banking rolls up nicely, and there's just a lot of room there. And then, you know, as you go through the dog leg or the loop-de-loo, I don't know. I think you're not going to get underneath people coming out of 2 quite as easily, I don't think. So it might play more like just a less space to pass. I don't know. I'll have to see. But I mean, side by side. Are you asking if we're going to be able to go side by side? I'm sure we will. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if the tires are going to go off. They seem to be lasting a really long time. So, you know, is somebody going to be able to get underneath your inside corner and get you loose in the little dog leg? Maybe. I don't know. But I think that it's tighter now, so maybe a little bit less side-by-side action through the dog leg.
Other questions for Danica?
I asked for a quick media availability today, but I wasn't expecting that. So
we deliver. Good luck this weekend.
Okay.
Anyone?
Bob.
Bob Honker, Scene Daily. Do you have a test schedule now set for the Cup car, or when do you kind of start working on that as well?
Yeah, I just had a meeting this morning with Matt from Stewart Haas, and we started talking about that kind of stuff and seat fitting, and you know, I think that, you know, what was basically said is like Daytona's around the corner, and apparently I have to run at that test now, something about being able to race at the Daytona 500. So I think we were planning on it anyway, but running in the middle of December or whatever that is. So I'll get in there either at the end of November or beginning of the year and get the seat set. But the good news is that between Daytona and the rest of them, there's some time. So I said it'd be good for me to run on a short track, and be good to run in a mile and a half. So at least I have some reference, and if there can be another Cup driver there to compare against, that'd be great. But you know, that's kind of where that's at. So it was good to get the conversation started and start to figure out a plan, because well, NASCAR off seasons are not very long, so you know, you got to be planning for the next year before this one's even over. So we're moving ahead.
Michael, then Steve.
Michael Knight, Arizona Republic. Danica, with the understanding there's going to be a new spec IndyCar next year that you have not driven, do you think the track in this configuration would be suitable for an IndyCar race?
Yeah, absolutely. It'd probably be more easy flat out, I guess. It's very smooth. I think the dog leg is fine. maybe there'll be some bottoming issues through there a little bit, but in IndyCars, if you bottom out in the back of the car, it doesn't upset you too much. So it's not that. I think it would be just fine. I don't see a reason why it'd be a problem.
Steve Richards with PRA. Can you talk about going back to Homestead? It was one of your better runs last year, and what you learned at Homestead last year that'll help you this year, and what you've learned this year?
Well, I think last year when I went to Homestead, I remember feeling really loose the whole time, and the car was probably so far in left field by nearly the end of practice because I was complaining so much that you waste a lot of good time where you could be making improvements on the car, driving the track like it needed to be driven. And then Eric told me, you got to drive it into the corner and you got to get it on the right front because it's a challenging track. It's challenging in an Indy car. So the corners are very tight compared to a lot of other mile and a half. So, we changed at the end of practice I got a little bit better and went into qualifying and surprised myself even a little bit and qualified 5th. So, I feel like I'm getting into the swing of qualifying a little bit more, but more than anything, it'll be nice to start off the weekend driving the track as it needs to be driven so that I can work on the car sooner as opposed to the very last part of practice.
Anything else? Danica, thanks. Good luck this weekend.
Okay, thanks.